Become Legend is a tabletop role-playing game that may include elements of violence, substance abuse, mental illness, emotional trauma, and may include other mature content or themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening and welcome to Become Legend, an Ultramodern 5 actual play on the Freeforge. Welcome to our season finale and series finale. Without further ado, we're going to hop right into it to get as much jammed into this as we can. In our last match of Become Legend, the champions just returned to the Firelight encampment from Singed's lab to find the hideout had been sieged and the great tree ablaze with fire. Niche, Io, and Arch quickly ran in to assist the wounded and try to help as many people as possible. Reggie, taking in the scene quickly, found the medallion acquired earlier in the day from Orn begin to react to the large amounts of fire, and quickly pulled him towards the tree. A vortex ensued, absorbing all of the fire and saving the encampment, or what was left of it. After some more assisting with injured and dead, the champions went to investigate the fate of Heimerdinger and were able to find him alive, hiding in his workshop behind a false wall. It was concluded that Singed was the culprit behind the massacre, and as the group was discussing, one of the young Firelight members came to the chamber. She had been with the group that went with Echo to scout Piltover and see what the current status of situations were. She relayed the info that most of the group had been captured or killed, with her being the only one to narrowly escape. Before their ambush, the group had learned that Jericho Swain, in partnership with Singed and Casker, had leveraged dominance of Piltover from the remaining surviving council member, Goldstar Mandala, and had plans to unite the sister cities through occupation and takeover by the warring nation of Noxus. She also informed the group that the nefarious trio planned to eliminate those they thought to be a threat to their incursion by public execution at high sun the next day in the form of Vi, Echo, Caitlin, and Jinx on the main bridge that connected passage between the two cities. After some further discussion, the champions decided that this stage would be where they would make their final stand to save their friends, stop the incursion, and get the vengeance many of the group wanted against Casker and Singed. As the group bed down for the night, Niche was visited again by the deity duo of Lamb and Wolf, Lamb informing Niche that the lives of Singed, Casker, and Swain must be snuffed out in order to stop a larger war and save many lives to ensure the balance of the scales be kept. After the rest, the group prepared themselves and made their way to the bridge. On the approach, they were able to hear the testament of Swain addressing the gathered masses of citizens on either end of the bridge of a united city of progress and Undercity, flying the banner of Noxus. At which point, hanging of the four others commenced, with Callisto quickly using her sniper skills to shoot out the ropes of the treasonous accused, saving their unconscious forms. The rest of the champions made their way to the stage and engaged their quarry. It is here where we begin our final match. And at the top of the combat order, Swain, who had began rushing the stage, coming for all of you, begins charging again, and you can see him reach over his shoulder and twist a small vial that appears to be over a handle that appears to be over his shoulder, and you see a spurt of this green gas jet out behind him as he rushes past, running kind of a slightly wide arc around Reggie, Io, and Niche, stopping behind you. And as this gas kind of follows him and permeates the air around you, I'm going to need... nothing yet. He's going to continue looping and run back, kind of enveloping all of you in this cloud of noxious gas as he runs back towards the stage. That'll bring us to Niche.
Nisha's eyes are watching Singed. She's never seen him do this before, but she has seen what they can only imagine are the impacts of this. And with that,
Speaking of which, sorry, at the start of your turn, I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me as this gas kind of envelops the area around all of you.
That is a 16.
16, so that is a failure.
Oh, which I can do at advantage, but a 16 is what it is.
Okay. It's a failure, so you're going to take... wow, crappy. Double ones on the damage, so 2 points of poison damage. But you are also poisoned for the next minute.
Oof. All right. So disadvantage on a lot of stuff.
Caustic gas fills your lungs. And you may now take your turn. Sorry.
I will get to you. And Niche turns her attention to Casker, because that's where Arch is engaged. And with a hand extended, will try to just rip some energy out of him.
Okay.
Even with disadvantage, that is still a 16 to hit.
16 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Oof. Then that is all Niche will do on this turn.
Okay, bringing us to Jericho Swain, who, standing on top of the stage, kind of looking over his shoulder at Arch and then goes back to the rest of you, starts casually walking down the stairs of the stage towards you, and he gets probably about shoulder to shoulder with Swain, or with Singe, sorry, and he lifts up this red glowing hand out from underneath his coat and feel the power of Noxus, and pushes his hand out, and you see crawling up from the ground these red spectral hands shoot out towards all three of you. I'm going to need each of you to make a strength saving throw, please, as Swain launches his Nevermore attack. So, Reggie.
That's a 9.
Okay. Io?
That is a 4, but I'm going to use my Bent Not Broken ability. Because that's a physical check, a strength check. Right?
Sure is.
So I'm just going to get advantage on that.
Yep.
Well, that's a 1, so...
Oh, no. Okay. And Niche.
19.
19 just barely succeeds. So, as this wave of these spectral hands crawling around the ground kind of smashes into you, it almost feels like a force moving through you. And after a couple of seconds, or like not even a couple of seconds, he pulls his hand back And Io and Reggie, you are automatically pulled 10 feet closer towards Swain, so he's about 5 feet right in front of you now. And you will take... You will both take... I'm rolling ones on all of my damage, so you're all lucky. So that's going to be 6 points of force damage and 7 points of necrotic damage. So that's 12 altogether, half for you, Niche, so that'll be 6 points of damage. And yeah, you two are pulled forward. Niche, you kind of stand your ground and grit, and the force comes back through you and doesn't pull you with your comrades. But that will be Swain's turn, bringing us to Arch, standing toe-to-toe with Casker.
Still facing off Casker. Arch just like, you can quit now. I know you always turn and run. And then I'm going to try this karate kick again. No, I'm not. I'm going to just use my first action to take my strike. So I get 2 strikes.
Okay.
At advantage because of karate. Ooh, hope that's not the one. All right, so that's going to get me a 19 to hit.
That'll miss.
Ooh. I'm going to strike my second one. $22 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. The first hit. Yes, I hit a 6. So that's 12, 14 points of damage for that one. I'm gonna because I have the karate activated, I'm gonna before then, since I hit, I'm gonna use these new brass knuckles that I got in that blue electric energy. I'm gonna remember that after I'm like in mid swing, and as soon as that hit connects, I'm gonna mash down one of those buttons, and so that's gonna be an extra D4. I forgot that for the first one. So then add in a extra 2 for the punch, and then I need a dex save, con save. 18 is what you're shooting for.
Blocked. That's going to be 14, so he does not succeed.
All right. So as I strike him and I mash that button, and that electrical energy hits him like right in the side of the jugular and just spreads throughout his body, and he's just kind of stunned now.
Okay.
Until the
How much damage was it again? Sorry.
There was the D4 was 2 electrical damage, and then the punch itself was 12, 30, 14, so a total of 16, 2 being electrical.
Okay. So you actually see, as Casker's muscles lock up when you hit him, a little spurt of blood comes out the corner of his mouth, and he kind of wide-eyed stares at you.
And I'll just look at him, and I was going to do something else, but you know what? Why not? Arch just kind of leans in close, and I think this time you're the one who's going to lose the gamble. And let's go big. Let's activate my deafening whisper and have Sosin come out here and Arch for a moment.
That is your ultimate ability, I believe?
That is my ultimate ability.
All right. And first ultimate being popped off.
We got history. And so Arch will just stand there and like kind of grin at him as Sosin essentially comes out of the necklace that he has and forms behind Casker, and will have 5 attacks at advantage because of the karate. So I'm just going to roll the attacks first, and we'll do damage. So the first one is, that's going to be 25 to hit.
They're all at advantage too because he's stunned. So
right, yeah, all kinds of advantage. So the first hit is 25. The second hit is also 25. The third hit, that one's only 13, so that probably misses. The third hit, also bad, only 14.
So that'll miss.
So the first 2 hit, and the fourth one is 24.
That'll hit.
And the last one is 16. So I think only 3 hit, right? Alright, so I'm going to calculate some damage here, so that bumps me up to that. So the first one gets 14. Oh, plus a d4 for lightning. Hold on one sec. So the total on that is, all right, I hit a 4. 18 for the first one. And the next one is 15 for the next one, for the second one, and then the other one's missed.
So as you unleash these flurry of blows, Casper's still standing his ground, and you're managing to hit the weak spots, and you see more like his nose starts to bleed and one of his eyes is starting to close. And he just stands there because he's stunned. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
Yeah, after that ultimate finishes and Sosin comes back into the necklace, Arch stops, like he kind of blinks for a second, and he takes a defensive position, and I will spend all 30 feet of movement to gain an additional +1 bonus to my AC as part of my karate.
Okay, sounds good. Bringing us to Callisto, you guys had lost track of her because she was still kind of off the bridge. And as the two of you are recovering from being pulled and Niche is still coughing at the poison that is coursing through her veins, you all hear a loud gunshot fire out through above you and slams into Swain's chest. No, it doesn't. It rings off of the pavement between all of you as she rolled a natural 1 on her first attack. And the second attack, that'll hit. So 1 smashes into the pavement beside you, and Swain, you see his attention kind of divert as he looks up, and another bullet catches him right in the shoulder. Okay, good. And you hear your radio click on, Io. I've got the high ground. Let's fuck these dudes up. Over. And that will bring us to Casker's turn. You see Casker kind of standing there, guns he had dropped already, and looked like he was getting ready to do something, and you just see that struggle of his body as he's trying to reduce, and then finally his muscles relax. He spits out some blood, and, oh, you remember, the house always wins, and kind of puts his fists up like he's gonna fist fight you, which you've never seen Casker do before. And that will bring us to Io.
Io is going to try and back away as much as possible from and get as close to Niche as she can.
Okay.
And then her eyes will glow green, and sparkling wisps of snake-like green energy will dance around her fingertips and surround her in a light that jets towards Swain and Singed. And Casker is already stunned, right?
No, he is not.
Oh,
his
okay.
stun ended at the
Casker,
end of his turn, so
he would be in range.
Okay.
And I will be using my stunning presence.
Oh, using the second ultimate of the evening.
Yes.
All right, so that's a DC what save again?
That is a DC 18.
What kind of
Charisma.
save? Charisma? Oh no. That's cocked. That's a 3 for Singed.
Yes.
That's a 16 for Swain. That's not going to do it. Casker somehow rolls a 24. So
Wow.
You see Swain and Singed kind of stop in their movements and lock up, being affected by this spell. Casker kind of falters for a second and kind of shakes his head like, no, I'm not getting stunned again. That's not happening. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
She'll look at Casker and say, I'll get to you later.
Bringing us to Reggie.
Reggie's gonna kind of look behind them, seeing that Io moved back and seeing what Io did. Oh, we're gonna do this one more time. And Reggie's also gonna step back towards Niche and Io.
Yep.
To get next to them. And then Reggie just might go ahead and use their ultimate.
All right, the combo breaker happening again.
So you'll see the semicircle of an elaborate orange sun appear on Reggie's face, and then it just slowly turn into like magma, like really bright, vibrant yellows, oranges, and reds, and the wind's gonna pick up around the three of us and start picking up the colors off Reggie's face, and it's gonna build into this majorly intense firestorm, and it's gonna explode, and everybody other than the three of us need a dex save of 18.
That includes me, right?
Yep.
It does.
Every time. So Swain and Singed automatically fail because they are stunned. But Tasker rolls a natural 5, which brings him to a 9. So that's not going to work either. So he is going to take... So they will all take full damage, as will hopefully Arch.
22 was
Correct.
my roll. Is that enough?
Yes!
Yep. All right, go ahead and roll that damage.
Full damage is 32 fire.
32.
Half damage on a save.
Oof. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
So as the fire erupts, the combo move between Io and Reggie that has become so popular, popping off, you see the flames expand and spread. Arch being able to just kind of like move in a way that positions so that I'm not sure how he doesn't take the full damage, but he manages to dodge it somehow. Everybody else getting engulfed in these flames. Singed kind of patting out some fire. Swain is just standing there. He kind of like looks and kind of brushes the hair that's kind of been disheveled by the flame. You can tell he took some damage, but might just be very hardy when it comes to his constitution. And Casker is like batting flames out all over the place and has large blisters developing on his face. Casker's not looking too hot. Bringing us back to the top.
I'm not done yet.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Ha I'm just Reggie's gonna look over at Io. I really like when we do that, but I think this Singed guy needs just a little bit more, don't you think? Cool. And the fire rune is gonna light up on Reggie's forearm, and he's gonna shoot out more fire snakes and do a firebolt at Singed.
Okay.
It is a 20 to hit.
20 will just barely hit.
Excellent. And it's 18 fire damage.
18 fire damage. As it smashes into him, is there anything else Reggie is doing?
No, that's it.
As it smashes into him, he kind of like pats out some more flames that you started, and Reginald, it's been so long since we've gotten to have fun. And he charges at you, and runs up to you and grabs you by the collars of your coat. I'm going to need you to nothing because it's an attack. That is a 18 to hit.
Yeah.
So as he grabs you, you feel the force behind this individual. And it's now at this point when he's so close, you notice from the mask red and black veins seem to be protruding from every visible spot on him. I'm going to need you to go ahead and make a strength saving throw for me, please.
That's a 4.
4. So as he grabs you, he kind of just tosses you over his head behind him. You're going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are thrown basically at the feet of Swain, right next to where you were before when he pulled you up to him. And that will be Swain's turn, or Singed's turn, bringing us to Niche. So now Singed is basically standing face to face with you and Io, Niche.
Niche is in the middle of Reggie's firestorm, trying to cough the poison out of their lungs, and it's not working. So instead, they begin to rip energy out of themselves every time they cough. There appears to be this kind of inky cloud gathering in their hands, and then she'll reach over and kind of from this hunched over position just put a hand on Io, and Io will heal for 27 points of healing. All right, I'll be back if you need anything else. And then Niche will run forward, and then that hand that had the rest of that kind of black energy, it will turn white as they then shove it into the back of Reggie, also healing him for 26 points of damage.
Okay. As you run past Niche, or Singed is going to kind of like turn and try and give you an elbow as you run past.
Niche will use disengage as a bonus action, very deftly slipping through much faster than
so his
he
hand
looks like
kind of
be.
whips through nothing.
And that'll be it. So Niche will end their turn kind of right next to Reggie.
Okay, bringing us to Jericho Swain. So as you kind of run up and Reggie is kind of picking themselves up off the floor after being tossed by Swain. Swain kind of looks down and then looks at you, Niche, and this is interesting. Let's see how much life force you actually have there, and is going to also use disengage and back up about 10 feet, and then just starts pushing his hand forward, and every time that red hand pushes forward, this black bolt of necrotic energy comes flying out towards you, Niche. He's going to use all of his death's hands at you. Actually, sorry, this is tendrils of black energy that go out in a cone, so they will hit both Niche and Reggie if they hit. Which is going to be 24 to hit, which
That's
I'm
gonna do
assuming hits.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, another one. 3 different damage dies, and I've rolled 1s on all of them. So it's only going to be 7 points of necrotic damage. But as this cone of energy flies out and kind of slams into the two of you, now Reggie, you would notice too, as this happens, as you feel this negative energy hitting you, kind of taking the breath out of you. You see 2 of these ravens that are flying around and perched and stuff slam into him, and he kind of stands up a little straighter. He's going to heal for 7 and 4, so 11 points of healing from his passive. Oops. And that will bring us to Arch.
All right. Kind of looking around. There's a slight hesitation as he wants to help his friends, but he just looks back at Casker's like, I've been waiting so long for this. I gotta finish it. And then I'm going to strike at him twice. I have 2 attacks.
Okay.
Hold on. Actually, let me check one thing real fast. So the first. All right. Oh, shoot. I have 3 attacks. I missed an attack last round. So the first one is going to be 16 to hit. So that misses. Second attack is 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. So that's going to be 13 points of damage on that one. And then the third attack, because I forgot I had that last time, is going to be... that one's only 13 to hit on that one. So
that'll miss.
I only hit him the 2 times.
Yeah. So you managed to get a couple strikes in, and he's still there. He's looking really brutal, but is still standing strong in his hubris as you slam the attacks into him. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
At the end, I'll use my bonus as a bonus action, I'll use my movement so that I get the +1 to AC.
Okay. And then at the end of your turn, Swain raises his hand up again, and underneath Niche, Io, and Reggie, you see that demon eye open up, and then the energy go flying up. I'll need all 3 of you to make a Constitution save, Dexterity save for me, please. Reginald?
It's a 19.
19 will just barely save. Io?
That's a 6.
And Niche.
2.
So, Io and Niche, you are both going to take 13 points of necrotic damage. You will take half, Reginald, which will be 7. And he just kind of looks at the 3 of you and, Casker, finish him quickly and get over here. Which will bring us to Callisto's turn, which something happens, but you don't know. As she's setting up for something, bringing us to Casker. And Casker kind of like looking like Rocky in the 10th round against Apollo Creed, is kind of standing there. And, oh, finally, it's my turn. And is going to unleash a series of attacks against you. Moving with a speed and deftness that you did not know Casker possessed, as he typically is walking around with his cane and seems not very movement orientated. And you would notice as he throws his first punch, this little glint of silver pop out from his long sleeve. First attack is going to be a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Second attack is only a 20.
Still hits.
And third attack is a 19.
Still hits.
Okay, so as all of these attacks slam into you. You will take 26 points of bludgeoning damage, and I will need you to make a Constitution saving throw. As one of these punches hits you in the shoulder, and you feel this like needle-like pinprick. And as he draws his fist back, you can see this little like hypodermic syringe that had come out just over the top of his middle knuckle retract back into his sleeve.
Constitution save is not good. That is a 6.
You're gonna take an additional 2 points of poison damage, and your maximum hit points are reduced by 2 as well.
Oh, that's not good.
Bringing us to Io.
Io is going to pull out another oracle card and pull that is a 50 even, which would be life and death, which means I need to roll
Oh.
a d20. That is a 2. So I can cast my Drain Touch.
Okay.
Do I have anyone who's closest to me right now?
Singed would be right in front of you.
Singe would be right in front of
Yeah.
me? Okay. Then Io will very, very quickly never is usually in close range, but Io grabs at Singed's hands after planting a kiss on her wrist, and her eyes turn black at the irises, and his veins will light up with an almost ultraviolet light. And I'm going to make a attack
Pitch
roll.
attack.
At his... Let's see. Sorry, here I haven't looked at this spell recently.
Okay, you have lots in your repertoire.
Quite.
Singed is up next, and then Niche, you're on deck.
Does a
Oh, sorry, Reggie, you're up next, and then Swain is on, or Singed is on deck. My apologize. Sorry, what was that, Io?
Does a 19 hit?
19 on Swain will not hit, unfortunately.
Shoot. Then it doesn't do jack, and she runs away.
I thought that was on Singe, Dale.
Singed. Oh yeah, it's on Singed.
Oh, on Singed it'll hit. Sorry. Just barely hit.
All
Yeah.
right.
I thought it was on Swain. My apologies.
Then we got 3d6.
This music, though, it's like...
That is 15 points of necrotic
Ooh.
damage.
So you see the black veins intensify on his face, and you hear the muffled cough behind the mask. 15 points. Ooh, okay. And you can see, like, just out of the corner of the mask, a little bit of red start to drip out from underneath the mask. Bringing us to Reggie, because I didn't forget Reggie. How would you forget Reggie? Nobody forgets Reggie. Oh, actually, at the end of your turn, Swain is going to step out and push his hand out again. Another cone of this dark energy enveloping all three of you this time. As he uses his third legendary action, which is going to be a 24 to hit. Does that hit all of you? So you will all take, sorry, it's this die. Hey, something that isn't a 1. You're all going to take 10 points of necrotic damage.
Not me,
as
though, right?
these, not you, no.
Okay.
As these tendrils of dark necrotic energy slam into you, and you see 8, 16, 21 points of health back.
Would I be able to use her hellish rebuke there as a reaction?
Sure. I'll allow it. Yeah.
Yeah. She screams, "You have no power here."
Yes.
I like it. What is it's a save, right?
is
And I think it was
dexterity
called like
saving throw.
Snapback or something. What did we call it? We titled it something. That's a 17.
That would save. 2d10.
So as you say that, Swain kind of looks at you and turns his head slightly. I take power where I want, Vastayan. Bringing us now to Reggie's actual turn, I promise.
Oh, you actually take half damage on a on a successful.
Not your turn yet, Reggie.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
Oh, and I forgot about Singe's legendary action that he's... No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
You get 8.
I quit.
Yeah,
8?
half of 8. 4. 4
Okay, perfect.
Sorry.
Bringing us to Reggie.
Okay, so I got thrown a little bit, but I didn't know how far. Who's further away from me, Arch or Io?
Arch, still, for sure.
Arch.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he within 30 feet?
Yeah, he'd be about 25 feet away from you at this point.
Okay. So I'm gonna look over to Niche and say, just you prepare to roll, dodge, do something, and I'm gonna take a few steps back to get Arch out of 30 feet
Okay.
range. And you'll see that my pendant is gonna raise up off of from against my chest again, but this time it's gonna go up above Reggie's head, and when it gets tight, like the chain gets tight around Reggie's neck, Reggie's gonna kind of give a knowing little smirk, and he's gonna raise up his hands, palms up, and give a little hop, and he's just gonna hover about a foot off the ground, just for a moment, and the pendant and Reggie's eyes are gonna start glowing in really intense, like bright white, so bright like the sun. Like you don't want to look at it or you'll get sunspots in your vision. And the same color white fire starts shooting out from Reggie's sleeves into the palms of their hands, and they'll just flick their wrists and the flames will shoot at the pendant, and you're gonna hear, it's gonna sound like glass breaking, and when it makes contact it's gonna explode out 30 feet in every direction, and I need everybody to make a dex save.
Everybody but Arch and Reggie Arch, Casker, and Callisto.
Yes.
That's a natural 20 for Swain, which brings him to a 32, which might save.
Yeah, that saves.
And
Just
an
barely.
8, which gives 16 to Singed.
Okay, and 18 is the save.
Okay, so Singed fails, Swain succeeds. Io.
10.
Okay. Do you want to use your second ability to give yourself advantage on that? Your dex saving one, your movement one?
Absolutely, I do.
So you can go ahead and give yourself
Yes.
advantage on that. And Niche?
That's an 11.
Okay. Well, you tried.
Niche got a 6, but instead they have been once again collecting this. Every time someone takes a hit, every time someone seems to cough on poison, a little bit of energy seems to wisp off of them and gather around Niche. She will change that result to a 20.
Nice.
Be that way.
It's great.
Okay.
So anybody who failed takes 44 fire damage.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Okay.
Isles hurting.
Whew.
Do you take half on a success?
Yes, half on a success. Half on a success.
Which would be 21. 22.
Whoa.
22.
Figure Reggie out here doing more damage to the champions than the bad guys are.
It's
I think you're
Sorry.
barely still up, Niche. Yep, you're good. You're fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
Still got that ultimate ability. You're fine.
Oh, boy.
I don't know about Io though.
Oh my goodness.
Is there anything else Reggie is doing besides team killing? As this explosion kind of goes and you see it down, you see Niche and Io are absolutely wrecked, blistered, clothes singed, and you see Swain kind of pushed back a little bit, and like the tufts of his long white hair singed himself is like doubled over, reeling from the pain, bringing us to.
So as the light kind of dims back out of the pendant and it drops and Reggie's eyes go back to normal and they drop back down to the ground. I'm so sorry. We gotta pull out all the stops. And Reggie will turn and throw some more fire snakes at Singed.
Okay.
And it's a 28.
Just barely hits.
Yeah. And it's 18 more points of fire damage.
Whew.
Okay. So it smashes into him and he drops to one knee and then shakily stands back up looking pretty brutal himself. Bringing us to him, Singed. Singed, see that you're not holding back, Reginald. No, neither shall I, and pulls another one of these vials out and throws it at the three of your feet. It exploding into this like mucusy looking goo at your feet again, and then cranking that vial comes and runs circles around all three of you again before ending up back where he was. That will be his turn, bringing us to Niche. Niche, I need you to make a con save and a dex save for me.
Okay. The con save is an 18. Oh, wait. 19.
Okay, that just barely saves. You won't be
The dex
double
save. Oh, wait,
poisoned.
that's a d12. The dex save is a 13.
Okay. So you're gonna take 5 points. I can't make this up. 5 points of poison damage.
Wow.
Because I rolled a 6 and a 4, which was 10, but you made the save, so you took half damage. Unfortunately, your movement is reduced to 0 this turn. As you kind of inhale and cough out, but manage to cover your mouth a little bit better this time from the poison, you go to take a step to reposition yourself and notice that this mucusy, viscous goo on the ground has you held fast and you are unable to move. Bringing us to your turn, Niche.
Oh, please have something.
All right. Niche is just on the ground, hacking up along, and for a moment she's almost lost in memories of her mother dying, choking on her own body. But Niche, not now. We have a job to do. And instead she will slowly kind of push herself onto her knees, still kind of on the ground, and will extend her hands towards Singed, and she will use her ultimate.
Oh,
Here we go.
come on. Finish him.
I need a DC 18 Constitution saving throw.
I rolled a
Which
12.
she's probably really good at.
It will be a 17 total.
Oh, yes.
Misses it by 1.
Oh, so close.
So first, Niche will do 36 points of damage to him. And then this like shadow that's been collecting around her, being gathered from the battlefield, will almost explode off of their body in a burst of white light, and will also go to hit Singe, doing an additional 26 points. This is her using her ambient necrotic energy pool, for a total of 62
Niche,
points of damage.
tell us what this solo kill looks like.
Yes. Can Niche crawl to him?
No, she doesn't have any movement right now, and he's about 10 feet away, unfortunately.
So we see her just sapping the life out of him, and as she does so, they're just trying to stand, and it's not working, because as one part of their body is just kind of giving out, the rest of them is kind of coming back to life in a way. You don't remember who I am, and that is fine, but as you die, you will know that Joannica Varetska is the one who ended you. This ends everything. This ends every nightmare, every atrocity that you have committed. And you will do no more harm. And you will hurt no more people. We are done. And then Niche will roll her own constitution check. And get a 17, which will succeed the DC.
Oh, I was like, this is risky. What about the health that you get back from your ultimate? Who are you giving it to yourself, or are you going to give it to someone else?
Nisha's gonna do it to herself.
Okay.
And gain back 62 points of healing, I think it was.
Yep.
And that's it.
Holy moly.
As Singed kind of looks, he removes his mask as he kind of drops to one knee, and we could have made it so much better, and flops down onto his face, the black and red veins kind of taking over, covering his entire body, as he kind of like the jerking before laying still. Swain looks over to the fallen comrade and looks back. So we are getting serious then. And then kind of looks at you, Io. You wanted to talk about power. Let me show you some. And raises both of his hands into the air and then slams them down. And as he slams them down, this red-black swirling vortex of energy releases. You notice the ravens all around take flight off of the bridge where they were perched and circle above him in the sky, and this billowing cloud of darkness extends out from him in a 20-foot radius as Swain is going to cast his ultimate ability, Demonic Ascension. And you see that red on his hand expand and envelop, crawling up his neck, protruding horns out from the white hair. His face taking on, he grows about 4 feet in size, and this cloud envelops him. And all three of you are within 20 feet of him currently. So that won't matter right now. And he slowly just starts taking steps towards the rest of you. That will be his turn, bringing us to Arch.
Just, he actually doesn't even say anything. He's just going to throw some more punches out of anger. He's just wanting to get this done and over with. He'll swing 26 to hit on the first strike.
That'll hit.
$14 points of damage on that one.
Okay.
Total 20 on the second strike.
That'll just barely hit.
I want to roll like crap. That one's only 11 points of damage.
Okay.
The last attack. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
$14 points of damage. That got me to tier 3. So after a successful hit, I'm going to go ahead and use my Ranboo. So that's the one where I get to hit up to 4 times or until I miss twice.
Okay.
So first one on that one. That is 22 to hit on the first.
Okay, roll the damage for that for me, please, first.
$18 points of damage.
How do you finish off Casker?
Yes. All right. So, he
Jesus.
just started swinging. He strikes Casker with the right hand, but Casker like grabs his hand and pulls it back. So he strikes Casker with the left hand, and he grabs that hand and pulls it back. And he's kind of holding Arch open like this. And Casker's like, "I told you, son, you'll never win against me." And Arch just kind of looks around and he winks at him and he goes, "A good gambler always has something up his sleeve." And bursting through the necklace, Sosin comes like Superman punch flying out, just striking him back, and you hear a snap as his neck cracks and Sosin comes back into the necklace, reforming there. He grabs the necklace. "Thanks, my love." And he turns and looks towards Swain. He doesn't say it out loud, but he'll kind of crouch down. And I'm going to use my 30 feet of movement to get as close to him as I can, just kind of running from behind.
So as you kind of finish off this one-on-one bout with Casker, besting him, I probably should have made his AC higher. Doesn't matter at this point. You kind of tune back into the world around you, and as you turn around and look, you hear like the cacophony of ravens cawing, almost a deafening sound swirling above, almost blacking out the sky immediately above Swain, and you see that he is growing and is emitting this dark force and energy, and as you start to sprint over him, you jump down off the other end of the stage and rush into this darkness. I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
That's a 5.
Okay. You are going to take 16 points of necrotic damage.
All right.
As you rush into this darkness and you can feel your very life essence start to be pulled away, and you see one of these ravens fly down and slam into Swain. Get 7 points of health back. And at the end of your turn, Swain kind of looks out to all of you and, "Is this what you would call power?" And pushes his hand out, and these wisps of dark energy fly out from his hand. I need all 3 of you again, Niche, Io, and Reggie, to make what's it called? Let's go dexterity saving throw. Or sorry. Oh no, this is an attack. My bad. This one's the attack. Oh no, does the 17 hit any of you? Oh, it hits Io and Reggie still? Oh no.
18 to hit.
Okay. So Niche on the ground is kind of partially covered, still recovering, and the blast of necrotic energy goes over top of her, but it slams into Reginald and Io. The 2 of you will take 11 points of necrotic damage.
I am down.
Oh, man.
see more of these birds fly into him, and he kind of continues to stand up straighter, looking menacingly, bringing us to Callisto. Reggie, you're enveloped in this caustic, gross gas and weird necrotic damage. Oh, actually, at the start of your turn, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for me. Or, sorry, it's not your turn. It's Callisto's turn, so you're fine. And you hear over the radio, Io, you son of a bitch. And you hear this rifle pop off, just a single shot this time. And that will hit, and you see a bullet slam into Swain's chest, and he kind of staggers back and like almost loses his footing, but not quite. This is for big attack. 11, 26, 30 points of damage. As this bullet, and you see blood kind of spurt out from this bullet hole. And after a couple seconds of waiting, you hear, Io, get up. Fuck, Io, get up now. Over. Which will bring us to Casker is gone. Io, I will get you to make your first death saving throw, please.
Is a 16.
So that will be one success. Bringing us to Reggie. Now you can make a Constitution saving throw for me, Reggie.
It's now 12.
Ugh. You don't have summoner points anywhere?
No.
You're going to take 27 points of necrotic damage.
Oof.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, you guys got ultimates? He's got ultimates.
Ow.
This
Thanks, James. I know,
this
it's
is
your
the
fault.
big bad. This is the end game. I don't know what you expected.
Okay. Looking back and seeing that Io is on the ground. Niche, I'll do my best to hold him off. Okay. And immediately gonna throw some more fire snakes.
Okay.
Swain. It's a 21. To hit?
21 will just barely hit in his new form.
Whew. Okay. That's 20 fire damage.
Okay.
And then how much space is there between us and him? There's a little bit, right?
Like 10 feet right now, yeah.
Perfect. You don't take another step forward. And Reggie will throw up their hand in the Roman numeral ones. Well, nope, that's a lie. They're the asterisks. Ones that will appear on the knuckles. So many spells, you know what I mean? And the fire chain link fence is going to appear just in front of Swain, all the way across the bridge. We're just in front of him.
Okay.
Between us.
That's your third ability, right?
No, that's just a spell.
This is just your spell. Okay.
That's just a spell, yo.
Okay.
And he could do a dex save.
That is a 26.
Yeah, okay, so that's cool. So it's half of 29 fire damage.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? 10, 15.
Yeah.
16?
15 or 16. I don't know how you do it.
Oh, no, it'd be 14. 14, sorry. 29, not 39.
Let's go 82.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
15.
I think that was
or 14 points of damage, sorry. 132. Okay.
And then Reggie will slowly kind of try and step back a little bit.
How far back are you moving?
Probably 25 feet.
Okay. So after about moving 10 feet back, you find yourself no longer being clawed at by these red hands and the dark wisps of negative energy. And you get about 15 feet outside the radius. And if that's your turn,
Yes.
that'll bring us to Singed, who gurgles on the ground, and then Niche. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at the start of your turn, please.
16.
16 fail. You will take 18 points of necrotic damage at the start of your turn as these wisps begin flying into you. 2, 6, 7, 28. And you may take your turn as normal now.
Is Niche still immobilized, or can they get up?
You have to use a bonus action to make a strength saving throw to try and free yourself from the goop.
Okay, because Niche wants to get up and run over to Io. Okay, that is a 15 for strength.
15 will fail.
Ooh.
So you try and wrench yourself away from the ground, but this caustic goo is still holding you fast as you are being harried by this dark energy that seems to be swirling around.
Shit, I can't. I already have advantage and disadvantage on all. Wait, does poison give you disadvantage on saving throws? Or just ability checks?
No, it's just ability checks.
Oh, then I actually make that an advantage.
Okay.
Because all of my saves are an advantage. Oh, that's a 17.
Still fails.
Oh, yeah.
A 17 still fails?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
By 1.
Okay.
DC 18 to get yourself unstuck. It only lasts for one more round though, so like you'll be free next round at the end of your turn if you can't make the save. You still have an action.
Is Niche within touch range of anybody?
You were right beside Aya. So you were. It was Reggie that was a little bit away from the two of you. So
Niche is scrambling to try to get up and is kind of, I think, looking over the battlefield, like looking to Reggie, looking to Arch, remembering that Io went down, but her mind is just swimming. And then they're just kind of reaching out and they feel Io and are like, oh, thank everything that is good and right in this world. And Niche will reach over and tuck a piece of hair behind Io's ear and heal them for, that is going to be 34 points.
34.
You are too fabulous to leave this world.
I knew you'd come.
And then if, as like a free action ever, if Niche could reach into Io's bag and hit the comm button on the walkie-talkie.
Sure.
And hold it up to Io. Tell her you're alright.
You safe? Over.
Okay. And is that going to be the end of your turn, Niche?
Yep, that's it.
So Swain, kind of still stepping towards you, looks at you in particular, Niche. You have powers kind of like mine. Too bad they won't be enough. And pushes out his hand towards you. He's just going to use his basic attack, which is going to be a 17 to hit.
That is going to miss.
Son of a bee. Okay, second attack is even
18.
less. So he fires out these two bolts towards you, and you just manage to like hunker down enough so that they fly over your collapsed form.
I think you've walked into a competition you're about to lose. Your friends die and you leave them there. Like dogs. We are here with one another.
Awesome. At the end of his turn, Arch, it'll be your turn. I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's an 8.
An 8. So you are going to take 25 points of necrotic damage as you are running towards Swain. And these tendrils and hands keep pulling at you, sucking your very life force out.
Oh. Do I at least get to him?
Well, it's your turn now.
Yeah,
So you can do whatever you want.
Or I still have to. Okay.
You're still about 10 feet away from him.
So I'll finish my run to get to him.
Okay.
And just gonna kind of like, I'm imagining he's like running or walking away from my direction towards everyone else. So I just come up running like Superman punch again, like just coming down on the back of his spine as I try to do a hit. That's going to be a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
That gets me to tier 4. And at the end of that hit... well, let me do damage real quick. Yes. That's 18 points of damage. And 4 of which is electricity. So as I hit him, I'm going to kick in my...
Oh, sorry. How much was the damage?
18. And 4 is lightning damage. Or electric damage, whatever.
Okay.
And I'm going to utilize my tier 4 skill after that successful hit to... I'm going to use the zone, which lets me save my D12 as my max damage for the rest of the encounter. So,
okay.
All right, my second attack is 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yes, God, that's a good roll. Let's see, 9 plus 20 to hit on that, or 20 damage on that one.
Okay.
And then my third and final attack. That's cocked. That's only a 20 to hit.
That will not hit. So you run up and you land the Superman punch in the back of his shoulder blades and follow up with a quick kidney shot. And you hear metal on metal. It's almost as if he's wearing some type of metallic armor over this large coat of darkness that he has.
Is it too late to hit a stun button?
Nope.
I will hit a stun button. I need an 18 con.
He rolled a 32 for his save.
That'll work.
So, and you feel the electricity, and he kind of looks over his shoulder, and at the end of your turn, he's just going to turn around, or not even turn around, he's just going to throw his hand out backwards. You might be able to deal with Casker, but I am not him. And this cone of bolts flies out to you. That's going to be a 29 to hit.
Yep. You might as well just roll damage, because that's probably it.
You're going to take 12 points of necrotic damage as this bolt slams into you.
As it's coming, he just says, "Your cape's not even brand name."
Okay. Bringing us to Callisto. You hear over the radio now, "Oh, thank fucking Christ. I can't see anything. I'm trying to maneuver into a better position, but I'm going to be a second." And you hear over, and that's all you hear from Callisto. Casker is gurgling. Io, that brings us to you. I need a Constitution save at the start of your turn, please.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
You got
That's
this.
a 19.
Just barely saves.
Yay!
So you take no damage as you kind of like feel this energy that Niche pushed into you and kind of like give a hearty sigh and feel like you're ready to go. It is now your turn.
Io's eyes are going to glow violet, and she's going to use her fascination ability.
Okay.
You
Getting rid of all the abilities at the end. That's what they're for. Makes sense. Okay, so that's a...
make a DC 18 charisma saving throw.
Okay. That is a 17, but he's going to use his second legendary resistance to succeed, unfortunately.
Dang it.
He's outnumbered. He's got to pull out the stops now.
And that gets rid of one of them now. Come on. Or two of them, I guess.
2. Yeah, he's only got...
She'll use her bonus ability to read his mind.
Okay.
She just wants to know what's going on in his head.
That's a 21 on the save.
Again, another 18. DC 18, so...
As you push into his mind, you just hear, "I told you that's not allowed," and you are forced back out. Are you doing anything else on your turn? Any movement or anything?
You can't blame me for trying. And that's it.
Okay. Is she going to move at all? Or...
She is going to back off.
Okay.
She's going to back off as much as possible.
What's your movement?
It is not as good as others with her cane. So it is... 25.
25. So you back up and find yourself shoulder to shoulder with Reggie again. Outside of the darkness, luckily. Bringing us to Reggie. It is your turn.
So can I see inside there?
Yep.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
It's distorted. It looks really weird, like kind of looking at, looking through a school of fish in the ocean to the other side. So you can, but it's like really distorted and ripply.
Okay. Now, question for the GM. My blazing barrier is still up, and it does damage like every turn.
Okay. So what's the save on
that? Dex save 17.
Okay. That is not enough, so he will burn his last legendary resistance to succeed anyway.
But he still takes half, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just rolling it now. It's half of 30.
That's 15.
Correct.
Okay.
And then I'm throwing everything I got. We're gonna throw some more fire snakes. And it's a 29 to hit.
And 29 is going to hit, yes.
And it's 19 fire damage.
So you see as the like chains of fire kind of wrap around his form because he didn't bother to move because your game master is an idiot. And you throw these bolts of fire at them and they slam in. He actually drops to one knee for a second and then stands back up. Same expression on his face, but looking pretty effed up.
And am I able to drop the barrier now?
Yeah, it's a free action to end a spell.
Okay. See, if Reggie saw that Arch went down, pretty sure Niche is probably gonna try and head that way, and a fire barrier might hinder that. So
I don't know. Make an intelligence check for it. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How dare? Niche, go! And he just does this, and the blazing barrier just disappears.
Okay.
And
Right.
that's it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Swain, hearing you yell this and kind of looking over his shoulder, looks at Niche right in front of him, and I don't think so. And you see below you this eye open up again, and the intensity of the life-stealing force around you becomes even more severe. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Actually, you are stuck, so you automatically fail.
Oh no!
Because you're still stuck. So
Dang it.
that will be 25 points of necrotic damage.
Oof.
Okay.
On your next turn, you may only take an action or a bonus action as well.
Gotcha.
Bringing
first, do I
us... Sorry?
Do I get to try to break free with the bonus strength saving throw?
So you would notice after that, at the top of the round, the stuff kind of starts to crumble and you don't feel as stuck. It was just until the start of his next turn, but he's dead and it's his turn now. So now it's your turn and you are free. You're good to go. But you need to make a Constitution save at the start of your turn for his area of effect.
14.
You will fail. So you will take another 10 points of necrotic damage.
All right. And sure enough, Niche will take the disengage action or disengage as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't.
no.
You have...
I know.
So you're in threat
Okay,
range,
no.
so you could move around him without provoking an attack of opportunity. You just can't leave his threat range.
So in that case, Niche will ring around to go and touch Arch.
Okay.
And in this case, she kind of takes maybe the hat that Reggie had given him had blown off and had fallen away, and she will grab that and they will put it back on Arch's head. And this time she will actually heal both of them for 21 plus 6. So 27 points.
27.
Nice.
Don't let this fall off again.
Oh my
It'll be
god.
good luck.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're good luck.
And that
Trying
will
my best.
bring us to Swain. At the start of Swain's turn, you see him start to shrink and the birds kind of scatter off to the various areas and the darkness kind of lifts as his ultimate duration has reached its conclusion, and he kind of smirks and, even still, I think you're all mine. And ignoring the two of you behind him, starts walking towards Reggie and Io, going about 5 feet, disengaging so you don't get opportunities of attack, and thrusts his hand out towards the two of you, those hands crawling along the ground again as he casts Never Move again. So I need both of you to make a strength saving throw.
Is it an 18?
Ooh.
Just barely fails.
Oh.
Reggie?
12.
She looks so hopeful for a second. I love it. Sorry, I don't love it. This is great. You guys are doing fine. You're going to take 6 points of force damage and 7 points of necrotic damage. And you are both pulled back 10 feet towards him.
Whoa.
And you can see, like, as he speaks, there's, like, blood trickling out of the sides of his mouth. And I will make this better. I will prepare this place for my reinforcements. Just you see. And that will end his turn, bringing us to Arch.
All right, so I'm laying on the ground. Question for the DM real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at my stuff, and the karate and the tier thing, it just says it lasts until the end of the encounter, 5 minutes. So do I still have that after I died, or does that all reset back to 0?
I mean, technically you were unconscious. High or low?
Oh,
We're gonna let the dice decide.
Let's go low, because I always roll low.
I rolled an 18.
That's why I should went high.
Oh,
That's why I should went
that's
high.
so Arch though.
Yeah.
It's on.
Some
So
people think
unfortunately,
that's
we're
low.
gonna say it drops kind of like a spell. Like if you're concentrating on a spell and you go unconscious, the effect ends because you're unconscious, right? So I'm gonna
So-
treat it the same way as that.
With that being said, I cannot use karate anymore, so I will wake up and I will say, I'll like hit the ground with my hand, just scream, and like I'm gonna kick in Iron Palm instead. And then I'm gonna do, you know, that like cool flip where like you're on the ground, you like put your hands on the ground, like pop up and land on your feet. So I hop up and I'm gonna move. I'll just say thanks, Niche, and then run straight at Swain again.
Okay.
And tears back in order here. All right. So I'm gonna take an attack 1. Not at advantage anymore, but I get a +1 to damage for the Iron Palm if I hit. Yeah, I don't think a natural 1 is gonna hit.
There's the Arch we know.
Second attack. That one is gonna be 21. I don't think that hits.
21 just barely hits.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. That is. That's 12, and I'm gonna hit that button again and try and zap him again. I need a Constitution saving throw of 18.
Yep.
All right, and then my last
It's
attack.
like a 24 or something like that.
Come on, dice. Yeah, that's a 2. So total of 10.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that would hit. So you run up and you manage to do the Superman punch again, forgetting that you felt metal on metal the last time you hit him because you were just unconscious. And you hear the loud clang as it kind of stumbles him forward. And at the end of your turn, he's going to look over his shoulder. Stop bothering me. And this cone of necrotic energy is going to shoot out from his hand using his last, what's it called? Legendary action for the round. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Right. That's cocked. All right. So that is gonna be math. Oh my goodness. 21.
21, you make the save, so you only take half damage, which is going to be... Oh my gosh, back to rolling my ones. 7 rounded down to 4. So 4 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, I could do that math. And I did have to move towards them, so that I guess is the end of my turn.
Yep. Bringing us to Callisto. You hear 2 shots ring out. Hit. That's a miss. Oh, take health back from you. That's... that much because it's just a basic shot, which nullifies the healing he just got. As 2 more shots ring out, and you hear over the radio, Io, he's looking pretty fucked up. Let's finish this. Bringing us to Io. It is your turn.
Io is going to pull an oracle card, her last one that she has available.
Okay.
And that is another life and death. Second here. Roll. All right. So Io Io's eyes flash violet and they kiss the card, and it releases a magical energy of what looks like floating flower petals that glow in that ultraviolet hue. They float through the air and graze against Reginald's cheeks. And you can see Reginald's wounds grow beautiful flowers. They grow large and wither to reveal your wounds. Perhaps not fully cured, but alleviated. And you take 12 points of healing.
Ooh.
They need you. Go get him.
Is that
I'll do
doing
the end of
anything
my
else?
turn.
Nope. Okay. Bringing us back to the top to Niche.
Reggie.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
Reggie.
that's
Reggie. Right. Sorry, Reggie. I don't know why I keep forgetting Reggie tonight. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Why do
Reggie.
you hate me?
I have my reasons. No,
That's
I'm
fair.
joking.
Can Reggie get to Arch?
How much movement does Reggie have? Oh, yeah. Because he ran up to Swain, and Swain's only 20 feet away from you. So,
Perfect. Everybody. I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm running out of juice. As I'm running, gonna throw some more fire snakes. And it was a 22 to hit,
which will hit.
and it is 23 fire damage.
Nice.
As the snakes slam into Swain, how do you finish the match, Reggie?
Yes.
The snakes slither through the air towards Swain, and there's 4 of them, and one of them kind of goes down around the legs and kind of ties up his legs, and then 2 of them go around like his torso with his arms up, just kind of like immobilizing him, and the last one swirls around his head and then goes into his mouth. And down into his stomach, burning him from the inside.
So as he's walking towards you, you release this spell, and he gets wrapped up and still tries to move. The snake going in, and it's kind of like the last scene of Constantine when the angel explodes, and without even a word, he is decimated, leaving all of you on the bridge by yourselves. As we commence the end of our combat, your 3 targets felled. It's at this point that you hear Io coming over the radio. Yeah, you guys are getting fucking rushed on both sides. Be careful. And it's now like over, and you guys kind of look around, and you see that the red enforcers' bodies are kind of strewn about on either end of the bridge and being led by blue enforcers on one side, on the Piltover side, and back on the Zon side you see Heimerdinger at the front of a procession of the rest of the firelights, overtaking and coming to meet you in the middle of the bridge. And Heimer kind of runs up and like pats on your leg, Reggie, and kind of gives you all a nod and starts heading for the stage where the bodies of Caitlin, Vi, Jinx, and Echo lay. Is there anything anybody is doing right away?
Arch will just say, Jinx, 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 we could use a little chaos right now. Do you remember if you say her name 3 times and maybe she'll wait? Okay, all right. What are we doing?
I think
Yeah, go.
we're trying to catch our breath, and Niche will go around, and in this moment of quiet but chaos, she'll heal everyone for another 21 points.
Ooh. All right.
Just in case.
So you
You don't
see
like to look at these groups.
you see Heimerdinger is you hear uproarious shouting from both sides, kind of can't make out what is happening, and you kind of look over and see Heimerdinger on the stage, and he's kind of picking Echo up as he's kind of shooting these. You see him plunging these syringes into 3 of the individuals, not touching Jinx, and you kind of see Caitlin and Vi start to get up, and Heimerdinger kind of helping Echo up and patting him as he gets up, and then kind of turns around and Citizens of Zon and Piltover, look around you today. This is what happens when we allow our greed to outweigh us. This is what happens when we decide not to band together and we fall apart. And kind of looking at the four of you is kind of ushering you towards the stage.
Start walking over there.
We have, as you can see before you, members of both sides, both the top and the bottom, who have united together in order to restore balance and stop us from being invaded from outside sources. We owe these people our lives, and it is with that I would like to hopefully restore the peace talks between our two great cities. And kind of looking at Echo and Vi and Echo kind of walking up, Caitlin behind Vi, and they kind of put their hands on Heimerdinger's shoulder and look out to the rest of you, and Echo's like, so what do you say, Io? You want to make a bond and hopefully help some people out? And kind of gives you a wink.
I think that would be excellent.
And it's about this time that sliding down from one of the large posts, like one of the large suspension portions of the bridge, Callisto joins all of you. Well, we will begin talks immediately after we clean this up and send word to those incoming ships that they are not welcome. And I have just the thing to help. And kind of points, and you see the a bunch of the firelights are hauling along these large mechanisms that appear to be like warhead launchers, basically large-sized versions on mounts of the warhead that Niche, you and Heimerdinger had been working on the previous night. Though you weren't 100% sure of what they were, the full picture comes clear now. And that is where we will end this segment of the story. Fast forwarding a little bit, Reginald, you are offered your position back on the council, but it is no longer the Council of Piltover. Through various peace treaty talks and decisions that have been made, it is now the Council of Piltover and Zon. Madala is sent back to Noxus as an outsider influence. Vi, Caitlin, and Echo are all appointed to the council and request that Reggie and Archibald both join as well. And moving to Reginald, maybe if you want to just speak a little bit to what Reggie does in the coming weeks and after things have kind of settled down a little bit.
Well, Reggie reluctantly accepts the position on the council. With all the recent events, there's been maybe a bit of reevaluating, but clearly they need Reggie's expertise. So Reggie agrees. Actually, they end up offering Reggie their old house back, and Reggie declines. Reggie doesn't need all that stuff. Reggie stays living in the home he has in Zon. And Reggie goes back to using his birth name. So everybody gets to be reintroduced, and they get to know Ignatius. Yeah.
So it's likely a few weeks after peace treaties rebuilding has started to come up again, and you are just after the end of a council meeting, kind of loitering around with Heimerdinger and having a chat. And, well, my boy, we've accomplished a lot these last few weeks, but I still sense something isn't... You're not all the way here, are you?
You always knew exactly how to read me. I'm more than happy to help for as long as you need me, but this isn't the goal anymore. This isn't my long-term plan.
It makes a lot of sense. There's probably some trepidation and has been since you ever came back, even. But you've done good work, and you can consider your status restored. What is it you truly want to do, my boy?
I need to get back to basics. I need to reconnect with my youth, myself, my people. As soon as I'm able, I'm gonna head back to Mount Targon. I think that's where I belong.
Took you a long time, but you finally figured it out. I'm proud of you. Archibald. What does Arch do in the coming weeks after being offered a position on the council?
So Arch, he takes some time to think about the way his life has been and the way he's lived his life for so long, for as long as he could remember since being a kid, and he decides that it's probably time for him to grow up a little bit and take a different path. So he has a conversation with Sosin, grabbing the necklace and kind of zoning into that ethereal plane, if you would say, and has that talk to say his love is there, it will always be there, but it's time for Arch to move forward. Never forgetting the past, of course, but continuing to live while he still has life and realizing that he can actually offer something different to this community. He then goes on to kind of ponder what can he do differently now, and while it had dawned on him at some dark times before, now feels different. He takes that necklace, he gets it appraised, the necklace that Sosin had given to him, and found out that it's worth a crap load of money. And so he decides to take it out for one last gamble, and he puts it up for one last roll of the dice. And like Arch, those dice were rolling to the losing score.
High or low?
But it would have been high.
You find yourself in the casino. Hold on, we're gonna do a little bit here. You find yourself in the casino putting this necklace up. High or low? I'm gonna make it simple.
Go high this time. Feeling there's a time for a change.
As the dice clatter across the table, you're kind of watching them. This anxiety building up, and you see them start to slow down. You kind of look around and see everybody else start to slow down. And you kind of blink to see what's going on, and as you open your eyes again, you're surrounded by this darkness, cool water on your feet, and as you're kind of trying to figure out what's going on, you feel this strong hand on your shoulder as Sosin walks up beside you. Well, it appears as if you've finally figured out that it is better to move forward than to look in the past.
I think most of my life has been about building walls. And it's probably time that I focus on building some bridges instead.
Looks like I did rub off on you a little bit, my island.
My whisper.
It is good to know that you have the friends and family now to replace what I cannot be anymore. And though I will love you forever, it is also time for me to let go. And he kind of turns you and goes and embraces you.
I'll love you forever. I'll be seeing you soon. But not too soon.
Not too soon indeed. And as you kind of go to squeeze this embrace, you kind of feel yourself hugging on yourself, and all of a sudden, all of the sounds of the casino come back in, and there are people cheering, screaming, chips flying through the air as, without you even noticing, the number landed on a high. And though you traded in this necklace, you are getting tenfold back.
And with those earnings, he would purchase the last drop and try and change it a bit, though, to kind of be a base of operations for what he hopes to be a bridge between Piltover and Zahn. Going to Piltover to partake in these meetings, you know, that Reggie was part of, that Heimer was part of. And secretly, after Reggie has said that he didn't want the house, Arch buys it and keeps things, as Reggie, he removes all the like crazy gadgets that Casker put in there, but keeps everything that Reggie had in there.
Roll a dex save for... No, I'm joking.
Oh, no. and he keeps that as kind of the, when they have to travel to Piltover, he'll stay there as his estate essentially. But really, Arch is holding on to it in case Reggie ever comes back and decides he wants his old place back.
Niche, in the coming weeks, you were able to return to JJ's, reestablish your shop, help with some of the communications, some of the talks, being one of the heroes of the cities. You are heavily involved, though not given a position. It's more of like an honorary title as one of the protectors of the Twin Cities. Is there anything else Niche wants to do in the coming time?
During that time, Niche is drying out the flower that she took, that lotus in salt, and she checks on it every day. And when she has time, not as much as they would hope, because these talks take up so much of their time, they go back to the Firelight hideout and they look at that tree and they check up on it every time, hoping, has it gotten any better? Has it healed?
It was pretty badly damaged. Nothing over the next couple weeks shows you any sign that it's any more than a charred husk of what it used to be. Is there anything you would like to do to try and help the tree?
So once Niche comes to the realization that the tree, it's this monument, this beautiful ancient thing, isn't going to get better on its own, she waits until the flower's fully dried. She checks in with Io to make sure it's ready, and she'll leave it at the shop in the place where sometimes she finds Nemo with a small note. And then she goes to the tree. And at the base of the tree, she took the seeds from that flower and she plants them at its base. And after they've been watered, and after she spent some time in this beautiful place, because there is still so much beauty here, she'll put her hands on the tree and she'll pray, is maybe the right word. And it's just, I pray that you heal. I pray that you thrive. I pray that you find the peace and the beauty that you deserve. And Nisha's going to try to just pour everything into herself. Over their life, all they've done is take from the energy around them. But this time, she's trying to push everything they have into this being so that it can live.
Give me a religion check, Niche.
I'll make that a 20.
So as you're pushing and pouring into the tree, the kind of sounds of the firelights around you fade, giving way to this silence, and you kind of open your eyes and look up, knowing what this is, as it's always been, and the tree is alive again, but it is darkness all around you, and you see Lamb off in the distance behind the tree, skipping towards you with Wolf darting around their form. And as they get closer, "You have done what we asked, steadfastly, without fail. Your mission is over. Balance has been returned. A parting gift to tide you over until we need you again." And you see Lamb pull an arrow from their quiver and draw the bow back and release, and it flies straight towards your face. And as you duck out of the way, you stumble back, and all the normal sounds of the Firelight encampment come back into your head, and you look, and sprouting from those seeds that you planted, wrapping around in quick succession, the trunk of this massive tree, almost taking it over, and there's a hush that falls over the encampment as everybody starts walking up, coming up to investigate what is going on. And these vines thread through, puncturing into the charred husk of this tree, and eventually, over the course of the next several minutes, while you stand there watching in awe with the rest of the firelights, the tree is reborn into something even grander than it was before.
That's it.
Io?
Io has made sure that their sister will never leave her side. But she's still the type to drift around. She's made herself a home. She's opened up an oracle reading shop, a legitimate one, where she also sells like creepy trinkets and oddities. She may dedicate herself to helping people, but she can't help but get into a bit of trouble and cause
So
as
you're
much
actually
chaos as possible.
able to, with the help of Arch and Reggie and Niche, you're able to actually lease the shop next to JJ's. That was abandoned as it was one of the people that disappeared during the incursion of the enforcers and was never able to return. And after it lay dormant for a while, you were able to make the shop happen. And Callisto, coincidentally, much like Nemo used to, spends a lot of her time on the rooftop between JJ's and your new shop, kind of keeping an eye out on things and looking over the place. And it's one evening after you've closed up shop and you're kind of sitting with your sister, just chatting. You'd been pulling from these decks, from the deck of cards, and releasing the magic into the air, letting what may happen happen. And on your third pull, after the magic is released, all of a sudden there is a green, dark shadow that is cast over the entire shop. Things start to rumble a little bit, and you hear a voice come from somewhere within your head. "That deck belongs to me, and I want it back."
But you will not be getting it.
The fuck are you talking about, sis? What am I not getting?
Nothing, sister.
We're going on another adventure, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And that, my friends, is where we will end Become Legend. For the last time, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us on this journey that felt long but short all at the same time based on how everything went. We're going to switch things up a little bit. I'm going to give the cast their own chance to do their thing now. Starting with Arch, please.
What to say? I mean, this has really been such an amazing honor to be here with our cast, to be here with you, Elle, to be here on the Free Forge. I cannot tell you all how much we appreciate you tuning in and watching with us, whether that be on Twitch or YouTube week after week. I am just so honored. It's been an amazing experience that I will never forget and forever be grateful. So thank you so much for coming on this ride with us. I don't know what else to say.
Arch, where can the people find you?
If you want to chat with me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Both of those are the same thing. It's at Friggins. That's FRIGGINZ, Friggins with a Z. I also do some podcast stuff on reddragonsradio.com. So you can check out that for like movie reviews and stuff with my friends on some of their shows. But Twitter and Instagram is the easiest way to communicate. So check me out there. And of course, here on the Free Forge, here's hoping. We got more stuff coming down the line. I definitely would love to do this again. So thank you again so much for all the contributions and showing up and cheering us on. And the chats were so lovely. I love it. Thank you.
Reggie, what you got to say?
How do I follow that?
With words.
Honestly, kind of auditioning or trying out to do something like this was majorly outside of my comfort zone. But honestly, maybe like one of the best decisions that I've made in a long time. This whole experience has been amazing. The cast, the chats, everybody's just so good. Such a good story, such good characters, such a good experience. Everything's amazing. And I'm grateful to myself for taking the chance, but also to the Free Forge for giving the opportunity. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Where can they find you, Reggie?
I don't know. Just look for Caja Ray. On
the
Twitter,
Twits,
mostly.
on the Discords, on Overwatch 2.
Sometimes in the Twitch chats, in certain places all over the place. Find me.
The lovely Io. What do you got?
This has been such an honor, and I have had so much fun, and I will be forever grateful for this journey, this story. I am so happy and thankful and proud of everyone here for building this story. Thank you. Thank you all for everything.
And I have to say one last time, where can they find you, Kim Grimm?
I am Kim Grimoire, Grimoire, on literally everything besides maybe LinkedIn. I don't do that. But like Twitch and Twitter usually
start?
where I will be most.
Thank you so much. And last but definitely not least, Niche.
Just thank you to everyone here and to everyone in the chats and in the community. It's been such an honor and a joy to build this story with these people, but then also to kind of collaborate with y'all in a way. And just the amount of like attention and energy that all of you have poured into this has really been a part of what's made it so special for me. So just thank you to everyone. It's been a delight. Thank you for coming along on this story for a character who's a little bit unlovable at first, but cracks open given the chance. So you can find me on Twitter. I'm Sarah L. Kinney. I've got some projects coming up I'm excited about, and you can learn more about them there. But in the meantime, have a wonderful time, and I hope you take care of yourself.
Thank you so much. And I, for the first time, because I just realized going back through the episodes, never did it for myself. I am L Street Gaming. I have been your GM throughout this entire epic that we've done. And I can't say it any better than the rest of them did. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in, everybody that supported us. Breaking that record when we were live on Twitch that made us all dress up and look at how phenomenal the entire cast looks tonight. I really, really enjoyed everything about this and am sad to see it go. But honestly, onwards and upwards. We all have other stuff we want to do. Make sure that you're following this amazing cast and seeing what they're up to in the future. And myself as well. I'm L Street Gaming on literally everywhere, even LinkedIn. No, not LinkedIn, but everywhere else. So Twitch and all of those places. And from all of us here at Become Legend, thank you for watching our champions rise!
Rise!
And become legend. Love y'all.